Welcome to Fresh Off the Jet by Young Lifestyle Travel, and we have a beautiful couple that celebrated an anniversary. Let's find out where they went and how much fun they had. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
All right, you just two got back from celebrating an anniversary at what used to be called the Hilton um, Playa del Carmen, which I just spilled it, and is now called the Hyatt Vivid Playa del Carmen. So just that quick, they switched ownership.
Oh wow.
So the first question,
Wow.
isn't that amazing? So
We was just there.
Who was just there?
just there, and let me tell you how it freaked me out for 35 minutes. So I'm building a trip for another group that's gonna go, and I kept clicking on Hilton, right? On the internet everywhere. And it kept saying Hyatt. And I kept saying, what? And it had the same pictures, everything. And I was like, did I send them to the wrong resort? That's what I said. Did I send them to the wrong resort? So I started freaking out on y'all behalf. That's why I sent you the text. And so
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh no, they were supposed to go to the Hilton. I sent them to the Hyatt. Anyway, had to do some digging. They just did it last week. So that's how,
Oh, okay. That makes sense now.
yeah.
A lot of things make sense.
A lot of things make sense now.
I'm sure we're going to dive into that because there is a question about because of this merger or whatever they did, this takeover, and they're rivals. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
that definitely.
right. So the first question is who planned the trip?
Oh, so I planned the entire trip. She just
Yes,
knew.
he did.
She just knew that we were going somewhere for our first wedding anniversary.
Praise God.
But I did the entire planning.
And that is amazing.
Listen, it's a blessing. Do you hear me? Because I literally did nothing. I didn't know anything. I knew where we were going, but I didn't know the details and all of that. I would ask questions here and there because I kind of like to know the path. And he was like, "I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it." Even when I would get emails from you,
Yeah.
he would be like, "Don't worry about that. I've already taken care of it." So okay, all right.
Amazing. And so you picked the Playa del Carmen for the anniversary. And I know we had another option, but was this a surprise for you at first?
It was all. I think it for me, especially when looking for a trip, is gonna be, of course, pricing, but also those things that come what you're gonna get with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, for that time frame,
Mm-hmm.
of course, that was like the beginning of summer. So I honestly believe it was the best bang for our buck.
Yes.
Even in switching locations like we originally talked about.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then walk us through walking into, I always love these. I even get texts during this time, believe it or not. But walk us through walking into the now Hyatt Vivid for the first time and what was your wow moment?
Okay.
So it's like as soon as we were dropped off in the route that they take us, like from the airport to transportation, all of that was very very smooth.
Yes.
We ended up kind of getting like upgraded, if you will, because usually they try to have a certain amount of people to transit back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy was like, "I'm not gonna make you wait." And so it was kind of like it was a private ride. So going down the street of Mexico, you really got a sense of culture when you're looking out the window,
Oh
you're
yeah.
looking at the buildings, and then when we pull up to it's the Hyatt now, is what you said?
Yes, the Hyatt Vivid now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pulled up to the Hyatt Vivid and you see like the palm trees and you pull up and it was so nice. Everything
Mm.
was in order. They greeted us when we walked in. They greeted us with like a little drink, not an alcoholic drink. It was like lime or something like that.
Water, yeah.
Lime water to like
Mm.
refresh yourself from the
Mm-hmm.
travel. And
Yes.
they gave us like a little towel when you walked in. And then because we are, well, at the time we were Hilton reward members,
Mm-hmm.
we were escorted to a different space
Mm.
than I guess people that were not rewards members. So they had like a little VIP area for the Hilton reward members.
All right now. And so
So it was nice. Like everything was very clean. Like the moment you walked in, you could kind of see out to like some water that they had, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it was nice. Nobody, every person that you walked past, they spoke to you, and they greeted you. They politely moved out of your way, and they were very courteous, very courteous.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah. So of course, just for even from the plane ride, like coming into Cancun, coming through customs and those things, very smooth. Getting to transportation was very smooth. Got upgraded to a private ride. Arriving to the hotel, everybody was definitely um, great customer service. Of course, taking the bags. Concierge did an amazing job to take your bags to your room.
Mm.
Being able to check in a different area
Yeah.
because you're well at that time Hilton, rewards members at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Very clean. Um, yeah, just great customer service. I think all around, being able to have a smooth check in. There was maybe a small amount of downtime as far as checking in, but it was actually worth the little wait. As far as being able to check in from the general population, as you would say.
Got you. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but during that time, you're kind of getting excited again, and
Yes.
right. So, I always
Yeah,
say,
because we
mm-hmm.
had some friends that met us down there,
Oh,
so
cool.
they were already there, and so they were just kind of like also egging us on too, like, hey, have you guys made it? Like,
Yeah.
we're waiting on y'all, type situation.
Yeah, they got there before us, but there was so much on that resort for you to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you would have not been bored waiting on people to arrive. It was a
Got
really
you.
like there's so many things to do.
Yeah.
See, and that's what we're gonna get off into that. So be honest. Who was the one once you got there researching like extra resort restaurants and activities to do? Um, and or were you just let me know where to show up? So did someone take over, like you or your wife? Which one kind of was like, oh, let's do this and let's do that?
I think it was
Probably equal.
yeah, it was kind of equal. Like we didn't really have before this. We didn't want to we didn't want to have an itinerary. It was just kind
Gotcha.
of like
Yeah.
go with the flow. There
Mm-hmm.
was some potential like things we had researched that we
Mm-hmm.
may wanted to look, see. But we really didn't have an itinerary. It was more like come as you go.
Yeah.
Like we'll do what we want to do when we want to do it, but more of relaxation. And I think that was the main purpose of the trip. We did literally like one excursion,
Okay.
and the rest of it was just more like relaxation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably get to that now, but I want to say
Okay.
which excursion was it? But don't go into details. Just tell me that, and we'll touch back on it.
We did the ATV, C note, and zip lining was all in one.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I
Yes.
gotta get details on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you guys stick together? Because like my husband and I, when we go, like we mostly do well when we do cruises, but even when we do Mexico, we'll have that time alone from each other. Like, hey, we're not away from the house or anything, or the,
Mm-hmm.
not unsafe, but like, hey, I'm in here reading, or I'm at the jacuzzi. Did y'all have any of those moments where you separated?
The only I think time I would say not separated from each other,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe separated from our friends,
Yeah.
and like everybody kind of just spent their day with
Yeah.
their significant other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I say, it was just we didn't have an itinerary.
Right.
It was just kind of like, hey, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
If we wanted to do it as a group, cool. If y'all want to do that, cool.
Right.
And then we meet up later or whatever the case
Now
may
the
be.
other couple that was with us did have a moment where they were kind of like separated. He ended up staying back, and they went and did an excursion on their own.
Okay.
And then he ended up staying, and then we all went. The three of us went to the zip lining and whatever excursion we went to, and did that. So
Okay.
they had an opportunity to kind of like separate, but
Right.
Mel and I had already kind of decided that we were gonna kind of like try to stick together,
That's
especially
right.
if we go off resort
Right.
for safety purposes, because
Yeah.
I ain't trying to stay and be a resident of Mexico.
Talk about a oops moment. I don't need no oops moments in
No
Mexico.
oops.
No oops,
So we need an accountability partner.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, definitely I wouldn't recommend it for that destination, but I like to ask because a lot of couples are different, and
Yeah.
people need to know that. That hey, it's
We
okay.
actually like being around each other. Like he's not.
That's how my husband and I are. So people like
Yeah.
they like, oh, y'all really love each other. It was like,
Yes.
duh.
We do. We do.
um. So then, all inclusive resort. So it's an all inclusive resort. And oh yeah, I wanted to know, where did y'all go when y'all separated from the other group? Like, did you walk around? I love Playa del Carmen, so I always go back away from the beach
Uh-huh. Oh,
area.
we did a couple of things. We did go off the resort. We did like Fifth Avenue area,
Yes.
and we went to El Fogón
Yes, my favorite place.
to eat we ate some tacos there.
Yeah.
And then we walked around Fifth Street, did a little bit of shopping.
The massage.
Oh yes, and then we did a massage that was actually local.
Oh wow.
Matter of fact, literally across the street from the resort, because there was a couple that we met at the pool.
Mm-hmm.
They were telling us that there was a place across the street that does really amazing massages for couples, and it was $70 total for an hour.
Oh,
For
that's
the
not
both of us.
bad.
For the both of us.
That's real good.
Yeah, really good.
And it was a good massage. It wasn't even like a lackluster.
Yeah.
No, they knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh my goodness. See, y'all
And
winning.
that was the thing, is talking to people and finding out what deals you can get, because like on the resort we had gotten a cabana and they were saying, oh, we'll get you a massage, but for the couple it was like $350 to $400.
Oh no. They knew what they
And
were
we
doing.
literally walked off campus,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it took less than like 5 minutes for us to get there.
Yeah.
And my favorite things to tell y'all, the El Fogon, like we went there with 4 of us, and we ate like we couldn't walk after we finished, right? And I know that's bad, but we were like, hey, do you know how much our bill was? It was like $35.
Yeah,
So
that's how much ours was. Like, we had a bunch of food,
I mean,
and I think the bill was like $32.
$32.
yeah. So we tipped.
Yeah.
We tipped Norma. Her name's Norma, so we called it Norma's. We didn't even know the name of this restaurant for years after we left, because we just said we're going to Norma's. We walk up a couple of blocks, we going to Norma's, and she would see us coming, and she'd be like, "Come on, because we would tip her like 20, 30, 40 bucks, because
Yep.
we knew where we are in Texas, it would have been $150 easy,
Yeah,
180.
definitely.
So anyway,
Like the prices were something you couldn't really argue with.
yeah, and
We
the
could have as
food.
much steak, even for our anniversary dinner at Harry's.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Wow. So how
It
was
would have been
Harry's?
like double what we'd have paid here in Houston.
I'm sure. And
Yeah.
then where is Harry's in perspective of the resort?
So Harry's it's on actually Fifth Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
It's upstairs next to.
Ooh.
Uh,
It's right across from the mall.
it's right across from the mall area,
Mhm.
but it's upstairs.
Got you. Okay.
In that particular space.
Okay. Well, look, I could talk about food all day because I think I'm a secret foodie.
Right?
did you how did you celebrate your anniversary, which you just told me, and how different was it from being at home celebrating your anniversary?
Our anniversary day was really chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we did breakfast for room service.
Yes.
Then we went to do massage. Came back from the massage, and we were at the pool
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of hours, and then came back to our room. Then kind of took a nap. Yeah, took a nap, and
Yes.
then got ready for dinner that night, and went on Fifth Avenue for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it, and enjoyed that time at Harry's.
I love it. I'm just loving it. I'm loving y'all's vibes. Y'all like me and hubby.
Well, Harry's laid out, and it was almost like we were making personal connections with the people, because they were just talking to us. They catered to us.
Yes.
we made like a last minute reservation because Melvin had a reservation another place,
Mm-hmm.
and then the couple at the pool had told us about Harry's. Well, when we went in to make a reservation, they were there,
Oh
and we
wow.
asked the lady, "Which restaurant would you pick?" And she was like, "Ah." She says, "What are you celebrating?" And we said anniversary, and she said, "I would probably go here,
Yeah.
but I do love the other restaurant." And I was like, "Okay, good."
So y'all,
So like, it was very personal.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, y'all
it
deserve
created an
that.
experience.
Y'all
Yeah.
really deserve that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did the resort do anything special for your anniversary, like decorate? Because I think we tried to call. Remember, I told you I end up reaching out to them to
Right.
let them know.
Yes, they did. They
Okay.
did a banner on the door
Mm-hmm.
when you first walk in, and then they had a bottle of champagne
Yes.
and like a small fruit tray or fruit decoration.
It
As
was too
well.
much tequila for that champagne. There's no way. We didn't
Too
even
much tequila.
we didn't even drink it.
You were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Fill this up with
Yeah.
some tequila, please.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
was anticipating our needs. It was crazy.
That's so funny. Did y'all stay out at the pool at night, like a little, like after the
A little bit.
sunset?
One day.
The first night we did, we stayed till about 8. And then that Friday, we were pretty much there. We had got a cabana, so
Mm,
we were pretty much there all day.
that's the best. Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday we went back. No, we didn't go Saturday. And then Sunday we went back for
We
a
did
few.
go Sunday, Saturday.
Oh, we did for a few. Okay, I couldn't.
I love the
Yeah, we were
pool.
pretty much at the pool all the whole weekend.
Yeah, I love the pool too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. What was the most memorable part? So we talked about a lot of stuff, but what do you know you're gonna always keep talking about this particular getaway?
But you couldn't.
Because the first thing that came to mind is how good them doggone tacos was.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Talk
I
about
mean,
it.
the tacos were great.
Yeah.
So it was that, but it was really like an experience. It was just really there's no one moment that I could pull.
Right,
Just
right.
being able to relax, and then too, because this is our anniversary, you're still learning each other, you're still growing, and so this gives isolated opportunity for you to not really be distracted by like the kids or people calling or things
Yeah.
of that sort. Like, people knew we were gone, so they didn't really bother us. So it was
Right.
really intimate time with each other.
In Mexico, because
Okay.
I love the food and the prices. So let me finish.
Yes.
I had to put that in there. So get ready, y'all.
We're ready today.
I know. So, Playa del Carmen has a cool mix of resort life and actual Mexican culture. Did you venture off? We know you did, but did you see any like I know you saw on the way like rural, like, hey, this is Mexico. Did you see anything that popped out of you like, man, we really in Mexico?
I think one of the things for me that was kind of just kind of like I was amazed and astonished at like just the ruralness of Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have like you have resorts that are tucked off in the back.
Yes.
That's true, and then you see the ruralness, the city, and then you have like boom, it's a resort. So I think that's kind of how like everything kind of plays in together.
Mm-hmm.
I, that's pretty much I would say people, as far as their jobs and those things like that. But then when you get on like Fifth Avenue and places like that, like you have kids out there selling things.
Yes.
So that was you got somebody always selling something or wants you to take part in something. So I think you always get a mix of the culture,
Okay.
and their kind of way of life and how they live.
Yes.
What about you, sis?
Um,
Did
I
you?
think to his point about the selling things, we talked about while we were there, their work ethic,
Yeah.
and we talked about like they're taught young
Yeah.
about how they need to work, how fast they need to provide and for their families. Like there were kids out there till 9, 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, and I'm sure later than that,
Oh yeah.
just selling stuff. And so we got the opportunity to drive past the school and looking at the school and the structure of the school and how it's like barred up, like it's just got this whole little like
Yeah.
what do you call it, like burglar bar
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm. Like a
um
prison.
and how fashion and clothing, none of that matter.
No.
It's your hard work and your work ethic.
That's it. That's it.
So if I were to say anything, it would have been like that was the main thing that stood out to me was the you got to see their culture and the work ethic.
Wow. Well, you know,
And
I love.
nobody looks tired. Nobody's complaining. Nobody's. They're just working.
They're working, and you're right. I was looking at a construction site when we stayed there one year, and every morning I would sit out where the jacuzzi tub was and look out at them working, and they would be singing. I mean, they're working with their hands. There's not a lot of equipment. Like, you know how you hear machines here in America? No, it's like their bare hands putting bricks together, and they're just singing, oh, da, 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 you know. And I'm like,
Right.
wow, they're happy. You know, men are happiest when they, you know, when you're toiling and working, you should be happy.
Right.
But thanks for that. I'm almost done, believe it or not. The beach, because I love to talk about the beach. Was there a beach there?
Yes, it was. We did go because they also had the red flags out. So the
Oh,
water was very, very choppy, and there was a lot of seaweed on the beach.
girl, huh? Yeah, yeah. I hear that a lot about that location. Even when
Mm-hmm.
we went, it was a whole lot, and they would rake it up sometimes, but it was like no use to doing it because the next
Right,
10,
because
15
it'll come
minutes.
back.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when to avoid that in Playa del Carmen. Sorry, people. Um, all inclusive. What impressed you about their all inclusive buffets and where you got to eat on the property?
The food was actually good,
Yeah.
except for that one place on
Which one?
property.
Help us out.
The one we went to late night. I can't think of the name of
Are you
it.
talking about the one when we did the tenderloin?
Yeah.
They have
Mm.
a not Mediterranean. It's I forgot.
Whatever. It was
It
nasty.
was like a sea. It was like a seafood place. I can't remember the name of
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it wasn't all that. That particular restaurant wasn't all that
That was
great.
the only place.
That was the only
I ate.
place that wasn't that bad.
Okay. Okay.
It wasn't great. Everything else was top notch.
Okay.
Even alcohol was on point.
Yeah. So you felt it when you drank
Yeah,
it. You was like, "Oh,
yeah,
I
you
feel it."
definitely did that.
So almost
Definitely.
done. What activities did you actually do? Now we're back on that because I love those combos, excursions where they do everything in one day. The only question I have is, do you feel rushed?
Uh, yeah, because you have we did the ATV, zip line, and the C notes, and so they take you to this like huge park,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's like hundreds of people there,
Oh wow.
and you're in different groups,
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess different groups do the different activities at different times, or
Yeah.
because you're not necessarily you're kind of running into each other, but you're not. But you're kind of overlapping. But yeah,
Yeah.
you do like 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes per
Activity.
activity. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
So, not necessarily feeling rushed, but you probably could feel
Well, I think too.
slighted, maybe.
I don't think so because the activities are adrenaline rush
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah.
So for somebody like me who is afraid of heights, and I went ahead and zip lined
Yay.
and
Yay.
right. So like to me, I think that was the perfect amount of time because it wasn't too much, it wasn't
Too long.
too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, not a lot of
Yeah.
anticipating, having you standing there and making you make decisions like, I'm out of here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's moving fast, and it's like this: either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it.
Right.
And I just did it. So I thought the excursions were really good. Time was great. I would think that they need to come down on the prices for the tequila that they
Okay.
sell for the tequila tours.
Yes, yes. Or bring
because
your
you're already
own.
paying, and then it's almost like a money grab because
Yeah, they
when
trying
you
to.
come in, they want you to have the goggles, the headgear, and
Mm.
they don't tell you about it in the advertisement. So they wait till you
Oh.
get there,
Oh
and then
no.
you're forced to buy it.
And they're trying to upsell you on like maybe a bigger ATV or
Yeah. They
different
do.
things like that. So I mean that would not necessarily a con, but
Mm-hmm.
um, just something to keep a lookout. They gonna try to get some money from
Right.
you.
And I think the biggest thing is the Xcaret. Um, I want to start pushing that more because it's the park and you have access to all these different parts of the park. It's like an all day pass. And
Yes, I've heard about that.
I mean, it's really nice. The resort is even crazier because you have access to all nine parks. So it's nine parks in total, if I'm not mistaken, and it has every single activity that you would want to do. So, but it's a little bit more pricier, but you have all day, so you're not rushed. So it's like
Yeah.
two something
So
with food. Mm-hmm.
this one was like, I think we paid 75 per person,
Oh, that's not bad.
and you got to do zip lining, the C note, the tequila tour, and ATVs.
Oh, I
And
like.
even with the C note, even if you don't jump in, they still take your picture
Yeah.
and do all the things. You still go, and there's
Mm-hmm.
stuff for you to kind of sit around. You can chill out and watch the other
Yeah.
people dive in there and all of
So
that.
y'all
So
didn't get in because I was gonna ask you.
No, we didn't do that.
Okay.
No,
absolutely not.
like
So,
our life too much.
oh, what happened? Like, tell us.
No,
Tell
no,
me.
we
Look.
didn't. We didn't go in there. No, we just decided, nah, we're gonna pass on that one.
What does it look like? Is it like a cave or?
It is a cave,
Mm-hmm.
but the one we went to was very open.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they had it was very open.
Bats.
Oh, and it had bats in there. But yeah, it's pretty and it's a high jump off of the cliff they were jumping off of.
And then those strange people was going to the highest.
Yeah, and then they had some people. There was a higher point to where you could jump off. But yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, I like
Not
how
really
you said it.
my cup of tea.
I like how you said it. Like I love my life. I'm
Like my
good.
life.
I want to get back home.
Yeah.
Did either of you? Oh no, this is all. I have to like three more questions. What's something about traveling as a couple that you've gotten better at over the years?
Traveling as a couple.
Yeah, like
Taking it out of the group chat and actually
Yes,
going.
actually going.
yay! I hope I help with that. That's one of my
Yes,
positions.
yes. I think getting it out of the group chat and actually the anxiety and the not say pressures, but the hassle of actually having to plan. I think that's why travel agents are so important.
Mm-hmm.
But it also makes a difference when you have somebody that is experienced and has traveled.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people these days they just, well, I got a business, I'm a travel agent, and don't really travel, and they just kind of doing whatever. But when you have somebody that has experienced these places that they are recommending and these
Yeah.
activities, I think that's very, very important. It helps your trip to be very smooth,
Yeah.
and also checking in throughout the process too helps.
Yeah. Just keeping
Right.
it on your mind.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because we could get so busy to where, like, I book trips all the time. And if it wasn't because of my ambition and because I do this for a living, I'll be in the middle of something else and be like, wait a minute, I need to check if I put the right hotel for the airport.
Right.
And, I'm freaking out on my own stuff. So I like to make sure that y'all are never freaking out, that you're always having it on your mind in a positive way, not
Yes.
negative. So, any moments where, well, you already told me that. Like, hey, how did I get so lucky? Because as you're sitting there, you're at the pool all day, and you're just kind of like, man, this is wonderful. Did y'all have one of those moments where you're just like, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed?
Yeah, I think the whole time.
Yeah.
Coming into it, the pictures didn't really do it any justice.
Yeah.
especially with the room. Like the room was just
Wow.
amazing as far as space,
Mm-hmm.
the amenities, and decorate. Like it's just you didn't really expect that
Yeah.
coming in
Yeah.
to it. And I definitely think it sets itself apart. Um, just coming in, it
Mm-hmm.
sets your exceeds the expectations that you have.
What about you? Said same thing. You just was like, ooh.
Oh yeah, and I did take because I'm really as a Christian and a follower of Christ, what I tried to do was take a moment to be present in that moment and just thank God
Mm-hmm.
for the opportunity.
That's good.
Um, that this was well paced, this wasn't pressured, this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just looking at the goodness of God throughout this whole thing.
Oh
Looking
yeah.
at I had a wonderful husband who planned everything out to a T.
Yes.
From your emails that were very detailed, and helped me put certain pieces together to just being able to relax and then like be in another country and then you see how these people live and what they have to do and how blessed we are in America that we don't necessarily have those types of issues or challenges and things of that sort. So, you
Yeah.
know, definitely prayed, definitely just enjoyed being able to be there. And like we even looked and was like, okay, so what are we doing next year? Because this
Right.
needs to be like a habit.
Right.
And you know what? This is the perfect time to plan. I'm doing a lot of shifting here at Young Lifestyle Travel on destinations. But again, because you guys are just repeat clients, I would definitely be willing to work something out with you. But now is the time to book for next year if you want to do
Yeah.
around the same time. I like to do 7 to 6 months out where you actually lock it in, but we can start the research process now. So
Okay.
Okay.
after the call, I'll send you guys an email and we can recap and you can get started shopping on the site now. So you can go on the site and do your own shopping, pick your hotels, pick the destination right there from the site,
Okay.
ylstravel.com.
Okay.
So if a couple was trying to go right now, they heard this whole podcast, they're ready, they want your experience, and what would you tell them to do right now?
Go.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't think about it. Just
Don't
go.
think about
Book
it.
it.
Just go.
Enjoy yourself. Be present.
Yeah.
And yeah, be present and be in the moment with each other.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good
But the
advice.
first step is just go.
Just go.
Like
Plan
the
it.
kids
Book
will
it.
be fine. People will show up for you and your family. Just go.
Mm,
Because I know I was a little hesitant. Like, well, wait a minute. Where are the kids gonna go? How can we be gone? Just
yeah.
go. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Just go.
That's awesome advice. And lastly, I always ask, what was the funniest moment that you can remember? Was it anything funny that happened?
Funny.
Yeah, that made y'all just chuckle or just laugh.
Ooh.
Oh.
No funny moments, huh? Like, even if
Well,
it's
I'm
weird.
trying to think of an appropriate funny.
Okay.
Trying to think of appropriate funny. What would have been funny?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, when you got mad at the lady at the end.
Oh yeah. So just well, I mean, now that they've changed over, so at the end,
mhm,
more of a just an insight. So I know originally you had sent me a message letting me know about the tax,
mhm,
having to be paid, which was fine.
mhm,
But of course, us getting a cabana, they were like, well, you can just charge it to your room, take
mhm.
care of it however you want to pay.
Like,
Right.
perfect mind.
Perfect, no problem. And they do this for everybody. We're listening to this. They tell everybody at the end, you charge it to your room. You can pay however you want to pay. So the day we're um, checking out and wanting to pay the bill, they tell me the total. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I have cash. Let's take care of it. And so then they tell me I can't pay in cash. I have to pay in pesos.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well,
Keep in mind, our our truck is on the way.
Yeah, our shuttle is literally like 10 minutes
Oh my
away.
goodness, I never heard of such.
So she was just like, "Well, you have to pay it in pesos," and I'm like, "Man, like we're literally about to be picked up."
And she said, "You could go
in
down
10
the
minutes.
street around the corner. There's an ATM there where they'll give you pesos." And so then he got so mad that I was like, "Sir, you do not want to be a citizen of this place, okay?" He was so worried about me, but it just got funnier because she just was just being like oblivious to like she was unbothered.
My goodness, how did y'all get that situated? Because I've never
So
heard of that.
they were able to take the cash. However, they charge you
A
a currency rate
Mm-hmm.
They
fee,
taxed us.
pretty much a tax,
Yeah.
a big time.
Yeah.
So it was like the bill came to like 190 something.
Mm-hmm.
That included the cabana and the tax, but it came out to be like 230 and some
Ouch.
change because of the exchange rate tax.
Well, it just got funnier because she started saying, "Well, we did have a cashier, but she stepped away for a minute." And I said, "Okay, well, when will she be back?" She says, "Oh,
she's
she's gone for breakfast." Listen here, what about people that's got to check out?
Right.
And so, can you give us a receipt? She was like, "Well, no, because the cashier would be." I said, "Can you email the receipt?" And she was just like, I said, "You know what? Where's your manager?"
Yeah.
So then she gets on the phone and calls the manager, and she has in Spanish conversation with her.
Yeah.
And because I understand Spanish better than I speak it, I was like, okay. And I looked at her and was like, "Ma'am, I wanted to talk to the manager, not
Right.
you.
Right.
Talk to her."
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this goes." I was like, "This is crazy." But just trying to, the funny part was trying to get him to be calm.
Right. So y'all wasn't,
be a resident.
You don't want to be Mexico jail.
No,
Mexico jail.
don't want to do that.
Well, I think they saw that as a come up. To be honest, it was a con because I thought they wouldn't say because we don't have change. That's what I thought. And so
she was saying pesos only.
Yeah, and I was just telling her, I was like, well, y'all might want to tell your staff when they're selling these cabanas and different things like that. Like, you have to let people know, like, we're only you can pay it, but you can either do a card or pesos. Like,
right, because they could have charged it to the card. But
right,
like you say,
exactly.
You had the cash, so it's like, so that's why I think it was the come up. So I'm sorry y'all had to go through that. But
no, it's fine. It wasn't your fault. I mean, because I was already knew about the tax that we talked about, but I think it was the fact of just saying like you can only pay with this currency.
Right. I never heard of that.
To take care of your bill. Like,
no,
it's not like I was trying to skip out on it. Like, I'm gonna take care of the bill. You're just telling me I can only use this particular payment to do so. So
I went about here's the two or whatever it was, that first number, and walked off.
Like, here it is.
He's the one something.
My receipt, and go from there.
Well, I always end with if I could do anything better to make this even smoother for you all, anything, just be honest, because it helps me to be better. What would you say that would be?
What would I say?
Yeah.
Well, what I would say is that upon the end of one trip, that you start sending ideas for the next.
Look at me. I'm over here trembling like, oh, this is the first one. No,
start getting us prepared for the next trip.
Okay, not a problem. That's an easy one. So, what we'll do, like I said, after the call, it'll probably be tomorrow. I'll just send y'all. It's really on the website. So now I've made it where you can just go shopping. So, you would click self-checkout or plan a trip or something like that. But I think it's self-checkout, one or the other. And you would just go and click around and see what you want to be, because those are the areas that I send people to. In a minute, it's just going to be Dubai and Bali. But I have a team that's going to do the other destinations. Of course, I would take great care of you myself. But just letting everybody else know that's listening, we are party Dubai and Bali. And we have a book that I want to get to in your hands. It's $5, but it's the bucket list party destinations. And
Yeah.
so I'll send that link to you all as well. It has all the discount links. So if you wanted to do something spontaneous on your own, you can just click the link and know it's a 5-star and know it's going to be the bomb. So
Okay.
you don't even need me. You do, but you don't. But you know what I'm saying. But I appreciate y'all taking out the time. And when this airs, of course, I'll send you a link. And it'll probably be a few weeks from now because we're kind of backlogged. But
Okay.
we'll have to do some edits. But I appreciate you. And is there anything else you wanted to share before we get off?
No, we just had a really good time, and we thank you for being, uh, for making us wanting to travel. It wasn't a hassle, so we appreciate it. It was great.
Yeah, thank you for all your help. Of course, to individuals that are listening, book now, book with Young Life.
Yes, yes.
And make sure that trip gets out the group chat.
Yes, buddy.
Yay. Well, I appreciate you guys again. And thank you for being on the next episode or this episode of Fresh Off the Jet. Peace and love.